And once again with Katie Inman and Todd Howell, who are live in Sevierville, and they're outside that iconic statue behind them, again filling up with tributes to Miss Dolly.
Yeah, John and Beth, we are here in front of the Sevier County Courthouse. That is where Dolly Parton's statue is, and usually the space in front of her is barren. It's just regular old sidewalk, but today it is a field of flowers. It is rainbow colored. She would have loved all of the tributes that are pouring in for her today. There are butterfly balloons, there are flowers of all kinds, posters, and you can see them all lined up here. People coming to pay their respects of all ages from all over the place. We actually ran into a couple. Todd was talking with them, Bill and Beverly.
We got Bill and Beverly from Alabama.
Yeah.
Up here vacationing. Y'all were on your way to, come on in here, Bill and Beverly. Come on in, right, make yourself at home. Y'all were vacationing. You're gonna go to Dollywood, and
Dollywood was closed on the day we was going. So plans changed.
So yeah, you are. So
yeah, and Dollywood, of course, closed on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now during this type of season. But where were you all whenever you found out the news?
We were actually back in our motel room, and we was watching TV, and all of a sudden we hear this news. So plans changed again for us from what we was going to do to come here this afternoon. So
why was it important for you to come to this statue?
Well, I think because everybody loves Dolly, and so do we. And you know, this is one of the last chances we'll get to see this and the people here in Sevierville who loved her. So.
And this is a special place for you all too.
We got married here right across the street from the courthouse 25 years ago by Pastor Parsons.
Wow.
So this place we truly love.
So were you here sort of reflecting on going down memory lane 25 years ago and just remembering what this special place means to you?
We come here maybe once a year and just, this is probably where I would live if it wasn't for my kids, to be honest. And Dolly's favorite song for me is Hard Candy Christmas.
Why is that?
It just takes me back to, if you have a hard day, you can get through it just like a hard candy Christmas, and that's what it means to me.
Do you have a favorite Dolly song, Bill?
I will always love you.
mine too.
Yeah.
I tell my wife when I pass for them to sing that for me, that I will always love you.
Yep.
We'll always love Dolly. So
That is so
she
true.
was very special.
Yeah. Well, Bill and Beverly, thank you so much for talking with us today. Have a safe trip back to Alabama as well. Thank you for paying your respects.
Thank you guys. You guys are blessed to live in Sevierville.
We are blessed to
Thank
live
you
in
so
East
much for taking the
Tennessee.
time.
Yes, 100%, Todd.
wow.
That is just one small sliver, too, of the support that's pouring in for Dolly. I mean,
Yeah.
we have been here since around 3:30, and this tribute has grown in that time.
It's grown. One of the workers here at the courthouse came and kind of started spreading things out because I'm sure they're anticipating, you know, this to be filled basically by the time we get through this evening here at the statue. Folks, I'm looking around at their faces. Everybody's reflecting, just looking right now. Some, you can see some sadness. You can see just reflection and paying their respects, young and old alike, flag at half staff. We're all feeling the same thing. Beth Haynes, back in the studio. Beth, it's so great to hear your words.
Oh,
And
thank you,
just
sweetheart.
how impactful Dolly was to you and to all of us. And now, on a real quick, we'll talk more with Beth and John, on a real quick weather note, the next named storm in the Atlantic Basin
Happens to be
would be, if we get to the D storm, that's right, happens to be, thank you, John, finish my sentence, that's right, it'll be Tropical Storm Dolly.
Wow.
I can hear her
Let's just hope that's
cackling.
a
She would love it.
peaceful, calm storm. What we like to call, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, maybe it won't be. No, I'm just joking. But hopefully it's what we call a fish storm. It's just out in the ocean, not disturbing anybody, and just out over the open waters. But ironically enough, just on a total random weather note,
Yeah.
because our producer fed that information to me a moment ago, but the next named storm would be Dolly.
You know, Todd, if there's something that I've learned, there is no such thing as a coincidence. And as Beth said, Dolly's probably cackling up there in heaven. No doubt this was This was orchestrated in a divine way.
She may, now knowing Dolly, it may, watch this. I'm going to turn up some waters. But hopefully, obviously, we hope for, no harm or damage for that. But in all, seriousness, that's that. Katie, there's so much emotions. You spoke with Dolly personally. I never met her. You've interviewed her well. Beth Haynes, you and Beth knew Dolly so well. You've got the chance to interact with her on multiple occasions. You saw her heart, her love, and I know that impacted you and Beth back in the studio so much.
It did, and so much so that the first time that I got the opportunity to interview Dolly, of course, Beth talked to Dolly so many times, and I went back and I watched those interviews to learn from the master, of course.
Learn from the best, that's right.
But the relationship that Beth and Dolly shared was so special. I stepped into that interview room, though, and immediately Dolly was just like, well, hey, girl, what's going on? Like, we had known each other forever. So she kept that level of friendliness, of a family-like atmosphere with everyone she met. It was not just her good friends or her family. It was the strangers. And I remember being so scared, I asked her to sign my interview questions, and she did, and they're hanging up in my bedroom now. But
really?
That is something I'll never forget, is that she was just so kind, and I said, I'm an East Tennessee girl, you are too. My first job was at Splash Country, so thank you for what you have done. And Beth, you can speak to just how down to earth she was, and how disarming she was.
I would just go into every interview, just leaving room, because you never knew what she was going to say. The first time I interviewed her, I had toilet paper on my shoe. So you can imagine how much fun she had with that. I also had on low-rise jeans, and she had a funny name for me, and I won't share that.
Okay.
But so many great moments. But her warmth, she would treat you as if you knew you for years. And I'm nothing special. Dolly and I were not best of friends. I was just fortunate to have covered her many years, and she always embraced us and was always so gracious to talk to us. So it's just a hard day for so many.
It is a hard day, and we'll get back to Katie and Todd in just a minute. But Beth, on hard days, sometimes it's good to laugh.
We need a little levity, as Todd Howell would say.
Yes, and you heard Katie and Todd chuckling, because if you know Dolly, you know she loved to laugh. And she would go into those interviews, as you were describing, with just a little sparkle to get people to smile or laugh. To explain one of your favorite moments.
Well, my favorite happened to be with Russell Bivin. We were interviewing her in front of an audience at Dollywood, and he loved to ask the personal, hard-hitting questions. And she talked about camping, and Russell says to Dolly, well, Dolly, now tell us, what do you and Carl Dean do in the woods when you're out camping? I mean, Dolly, aside from that, well, you can imagine her response.
I can only imagine.
When things were heavy, she laughed. She's had a horrible final 2 years with the loss of her husband, Carl, and so many family members that have gone before her. But she would find moments and take the moments to laugh. She knew that was important to life.
I remember her after Helene going out to Newport, and she actually turned Jolene into Helene, and saying that. I'm sure a lot of our viewers will remember that as well. Just a way to turn it and give some life and a little bit of levity to a really sad situation.
She was the queen of all things, but certainly the queen of that. She knew exactly what to say and when to say it, when to laugh, when to cry, and when not to say a word. She was gifted.